That is our first destination for this episode. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Let's Play. It looks so cool from up here. Everything looks so cool from up here. Which reminds me... We haven't updated the map in a while. I want to update it, and I want to put it on glow item frames as well, if possible. Actually, this will probably show the tree farm area. No. There you go. Oop. Okay. Not as cool as I expected. Maybe it'll show some more on the smaller map. Item frames? No. Item frames? Yes. Oh, yeah. Nice. This will serve as a reminder that I need to do the terraforming around it, which will bother me forever. Actually, it might help me plan out where I'm going to put the lake, because it needs to have a pond or a lake at the bottom of it. But anyway, off to the spawn chunks. Oh, I did not expect that. Okay, well let me explain what's happening here. Essentially, we've got a green border, a red border, and a brown border. This is the mod mini HUD, if you didn't know. I brought the item frames. Oh well. What is my character doing? This game. I love this game. There we go, a lot better. So yeah, we've got a green border, a red border, and a brown border. Between the red and the brown, these chunks will be loaded in a sense. They will load the blocks, but they won't load any entities. So if there are any cows or pigs or sheep running around in these chunks, they won't be loaded or simulated once all of these chunks are out of render distance. Now, between the red and the green border, we have the lazy chunks. Let me take my bed with me. Or are these the lazy chunks? I don't know. But in between the red and the green, entities will be well, as far as I understand it, entities will be rendered, but they won't be simulated. And then once they enter the green, everything in the green chunks will always be loaded. Which unfortunately means this entire mangrove, essentially. So, eventually I want to remove everything from the spawn chunk. So luckily about half of it is water already. But I want to remove all of this, essentially. But what are we doing here today? I want to make a mob switch. I asked you guys about it. One person got back to me. A very faithful subscriber by the name of Time Architect. He's a creator as well, and he's doing some very, very cool and interesting projects, so check him out. Yeah, he basically said he was okay with me making a mob switch, so I think, yeah, I'm making the executive decision. We're gonna make a mob switch, but I don't plan on using it the entire time. I'm just gonna use it for big builds that I don't want damaging. Like my tree farm at the moment, because it's quite a hazard, because there's a lot of spaces where mobs can spawn, and to mob-proof it, I would rather not have creepers blow up on me. So that's why this is the first thing we're gonna arrange this episode. This looks like a good location to me. Fairly quick to get to. Essentially what the plan is, I'm going to make a platform with 70 zombified villagers that I've traded with once. That will essentially mean that they won't despawn, and they will count towards the hostile entity mob cap. Because if you name tag a hostile mob, he won't be part of the hostile mob cap anymore. Oh, it's gonna be a pain to remove all of these. But I will get a lot of mangrove wood at the end of it. There's always an upside to a good grind. For those of you who have never made a mob switch, they are fairly easy to make. This is your basic contraption that you need. It's just, this part is in the active spawn chunks over here. I'll show you. Inside the green border. If I haven't mentioned it before, this is mini HUD. So these are the spawn chunks, the active ones, and these are the lazy chunks. As soon as all the hostile mobs from this spot go into this spot, mobs will be able to spawn hostile mobs. As soon as they go into these chunks, the mob switch is on, and then therefore there can't be any other hostile mobs anywhere else in the world. Luckily, my house is just over that mountain over there, so it's not far at all. But yeah, that is the basic contraption. Now all I need to do is make a villager breeder, a little chamber where I can convert the villagers into zombies and then put them in here. Before I change them to zombies, I need to make one trade with them. So in my experience, the easiest way to do that is make them into Fletchers, just trade a stick with them for an emerald, and Bob's your uncle. Whoops. As far as I know, we need to have 70 zombie Fletchers inside here, and then the mob switch will be complete. That's the longest taking bit. You need enough villagers to put in there. And there we go. This is all the ingredients that you need for a mob switch. I need these. Yep. Mob switch is basically complete. I just need these two to provide me with 70 children that I will change, like have mauled by a zombie, turn into a zombie themselves, and then we'll be golden. No more mobs in the world. I've trapped a guy in there already. He's name tagged so he won't despawn. As soon as I drop villagers in here, he will go to town. And at the moment, he's on the side where the mob switch is on. If I wanted to turn it off, just flip this lever. And there we go. Hostile mobs can spawn in the world again. It's that easy. It's easy to do. It's just grindy and a little bit of a wait. So yeah, I think I'm gonna let some time pass, let these two get acquainted, and chop a few trees maybe. I need to clear them anyway. Might as well start. Oh boy. No idea how many are in there. Oh, I gotta figure out how to handle them all. You bastard. Oh, there you go. Not so effective now, are you? Will he kill himself? I've never seen this. Would be a cool concept for a skeleton farm. Bit slow. Can he even damage himself? Because this is taking a while. He was doing more damage to me. Should I let him out of his misery? Oh, there you go. Well. Look at this. It looks so cool. Don't know how well YouTube is doing with the coal blocks, but From my view, this is so cool. So, like, all the rips are here, so that the tree fell that way, I imagine. Like, because this is smoother than this side. That was the idea, anyway. And then through the weave. Yeah, so cool. I'm so happy with it. Okay. Got a box of sticks now. Why am I glitching? Okay. Got a box of sticks now, and some extra stacks. Now all I need to do is trade ones with every Fletcher that I make. And then if I have 70 emeralds, which is a stack of 64 plus 6 extra, then I will know I have 70 zombie villagers in this system. And then the whole system should be operational. So as I said, very easy to do, just grindy. Okay, which one of you lads wants to grab the fletching table? Maybe I should release them, but I don't want them to go just yet. Block it off. There we go. You? Perfect. 1. And I gotta do that 70 times. There you go, mate. Your fletching table's over there. See ya. Where's my zombie? How did he despawn? Oh, wait a minute. Do slimes kill zombies? I don't think so. Okay, well, that's not a problem. I just need to capture a new one then. Waste of a name tag. Excuse me, sir. Your turn. 2. And there we go. Now I need to close this up. Sorry, guys. There we go. And now they can all become zombies. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, quick. Crap. Well, luckily it's still a number I can easily count. Rookie mistake. There you go. Okay, now I need to figure out how many Fletchers are in here, because they're not all Fletchers. That one isn't a Fletcher. And that one isn't either. 6. Okay, good. They all survived, thanks to the water. Might switch them to the other side. There you go, now you can see it in action. Perfect. Crap, I lost my Fletch table. So a zombie Fletcher is holding a Fletch table. That is precious. Good museum idea, though. Good display idea. Oh, that guy just got a sword. All of you better be careful. And that is how you make a mob farm. Mob farm? Mob switch. Currently, all of these guys are over this border, which means that they're in loaded chunks, the spawn chunks, which means that I shouldn't see any hostile mobs anywhere else, if there's enough of them. Yes, so here, in this shock box, you can see 70 emeralds. So that means that there's 70 zombie villagers in there, with which I've traded at least once. And, if I can spot them, I believe that's him there, maybe. There's 2 extra zombies in there, but they're both carrying stuff in their hands. I believe one is name tag. That is a zombie there. Oops. Just want to make it clear to you guys, they don't count towards the hostile mob cap. If you name tag a zombie, or you place him in a boat, or you give him an item to hold, they won't count towards the mob cap anymore. So if you're making this, make sure that there's zombified villagers that you've traded with at least once. That way they won't despawn, but they will still count towards the mob cap. If this is still in effect, which we can test. Alrighty. I don't see any mobs on our build here, which is good. Means it's working. And what about underneath? I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, no mobs here, which is a good sign. But the ultimate tests... Oh. That guy's there because he's name tagged. Sup, Jeff? Same with him. Whee! The real test is going to be here. The mob farm that we made ages ago. There's some glow squid there. Hopefully they'll fall in and I'll get some glow sink axe. Glow sink axe? Glow ink sacks. Let's turn this bad boy on and see if there's any mobs spawning. It doesn't look like there's any mobs dropping. There's nothing dropping. Okay. That's perfect. We have a mob switch now. Perfect. It's night. Let's see if we can spot some mobs. Oh, there's one spawning in there. That's not good. I don't believe he's name tagged. No, he's not. Okay. Let's test that a little bit more. We might just have to add more villagers, but I've got more in the chamber, so that won't be a problem. They'll obviously spawn, I think. Do they count towards the mob cap? I don't actually know. No goat horn, though. I'll take the logs. I don't need the carrots. I'll take the enchanting bottle. I guess these guys spawn, count towards the mob spawning as well. Towards the hostile mob cap, because they're not anywhere to be seen. Yeah, a couple mobs there. Okay, I'll have to add some more. But then basically, you've seen it in effect now. So now I can turn hostile mobs on and off. Basically, I have a peaceful mode button. Without cheating. Oh, that is so beautiful when it comes into frame. These guys shouldn't ever disappear because I've got a lightning rod here, so there's nothing that can get to them. So now that I'm fairly sure we won't be bothered by anything nasty, I want to do two things. I want to start with the entryway into this build, and I want to make this mob-proof, so I can turn back on hostile mobs again. Whoa! Looks like we're gonna need some more villagers. Oh. Yeah, I'm working on this. In gathering prismarine for this build, I've basically captured this fortress. Which is not difficult to do when you've got a mob switch, because all of the guardians don't spawn. When I'm making a guardian farm, I don't know if I want to turn the mob switch on, because this feels too cheaty for me. All in all, just another villager in the hall. Alright, I think it's coming along nicely. Looks a bit weird from down here. I don't know if you guys notice anything like this, but there was some cobblestone on this little protrusion here, and it just looked a little bit weird because it was just like 3 pieces, so I just changed it to tough. For the eagle-eyed among us, I know some people really, really have eagle eyes. But yeah, this is kind of an experiment. I'm not sure about this. I do think it looks great, but I think it's a vast contrast to the house itself. Though, you know, we want to change it up a little bit. We don't want to make everything look like just red and black, even though that's such a cool color combination. No, I thought, you know, why not mix it up this time and just give it a little bit more of a, I don't know, dark look? I think it looks great, but I'm just not sure if it's too close to this and therefore it doesn't mix too well. Although, you know, we won't see a lot of it on the outside. It's just going to be this entrance, and I was thinking of just maybe utilizing this space as well in some way. Not sure yet, but let me know what you think about this entryway. I was also thinking of putting beacons underneath these and having the beacon streams go out, but that takes away from the whole front of this build. I think if I'm gonna have beacon beams going up, it will be behind this whole structure, like this one is right here, but just in a different place. Oh, there you go. I've been hearing this guy all the time while I was building. I was worried that the mob switch still wasn't working correctly, but he had a piece of flesh in his hands, so he couldn't despawn. But yeah, as we come up here, this is our little entranceway, and then we get this whole space to work with. So yeah, not sure what to do first, to be honest. I'm going to think about this. But a big downside of this whole thing is it utilizes quartz very heavily. So maybe I should, and blackstone. So maybe I should focus on making the piggling bartering tower. For those of you who don't know, and I don't blame you, because this series was before I had any followers, any subscribers. Where is it? So most of you probably don't know, but I do have I had a Skyblock series. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with any of it. But I have this bartering tower, I called it, inside of it. So it's a big system that I designed myself to store everything you get from piggling bartering. So I've got 8 piglins here, and all of these would just spew out gold once this hopper here empties. Spew out another piece of gold, and then everything falls down the middle and gets sorted in these filters. Looks like I had a little visitor as well while I was cracking on with this. So yeah, everything gathers here, and then that slime piston just pushes everything on top there, and then everything gets filtered. And the rest of it just gets disposed somehow. So I might just have some, because it wouldn't be too many materials. I might just collect some resources to do this for next episode, so that it will make this a whole lot easier. Yeah, all of this is ready to be harvested as well. I need to do that at some point. This is the ice farm we made a couple episodes ago. I was just looking at my build from different views. So I think with these little man-made structures, I do want it to poke out of the build here and there. So hopefully we can manage to do that without overflowing the big build. But I was just having a look from a distance, which is always important to do. This mountain always has so many animals on it. I've killed so many animals there. I don't know why they all climb to the top of this mountain, specifically. But anyway, we've got the pillars, we've got the braziers up top. Obviously, the bottom of it, I still need to do something with. But I'm happy with it for the time being. As I said, all the terraforming and everything, that will be in a much later episode when I've got a clearer picture of what I want to do with it. We've got our entranceway here, and then we'll have this hallway going into the entrance section over here. Made some braziers as well. And I believe if I stand in the middle, if you look at the light level over here, it says 4. So, oop, wrong buttons. So mobs won't spawn here once I turn the mob switch off. So over here we will have some staircases that go upstairs to the big tree areas. That will be spruce, jungle wood, and dark oak, I believe. And then straight on, we will have a staircase going to the basement in the storage room. And then to the right here, we've got our ground level tree farms. This will be all the other trees. So oak, azalea trees, which will give oak wood. Mangrove will be one of the big trees. You know, birch. If we want small jungle trees, you know, all the small trees. That will be this way. This might be subject to change, but I think we will go this way. In terms of how we're going to tackle this, because it's one of the difficult things I find. When you've got a big empty space like this, yes, there's a lot of potential, but you keep thinking of, oh, what would be the optimal way to utilize all this space? And I don't think there's a clear-cut answer at all. I think we're just going to have to start it and just see where we land. But in this case, I think it would be beneficial if we start from the bottom up. So I'm gonna think about layout. Oops. I don't know how much footage I've got already, so how long this episode is, but I'm gonna be looking at layout and coming back to you with kind of a plan, and then hopefully we might get the storage room made as well. We'll see. We'll see. So nice to be able to just go out during the night. Whoa. And not be bothered by mobs, I was about to say, but looks like we've got some company. But the whole game just has a different feel in the night. I love it. Unfortunately, because of these flying bastards, I'm gonna have to get them away. Wow. Yeah, replay mod has the same hotkey as I use fairly often for something else. So yeah, I've got the plan in motion. However, this episode has, you know, it's taken a half an hour already. I don't know, sometimes I just get in a talky mood, I suppose, and I just keep rambling, and like I'm doing right now. I've cut away a lot of other talky bits, but the bits that I've got in the episode right now, I really don't want to cut anymore. So hopefully you guys don't mind a longer episode. But this is basically going to be the giant storage area. And then I've got to figure out how to incorporate a moss farm somewhere as well for bone meal. So this over here is going to be the sapling room. There's going to be chests everywhere. The chests like over here. That will house all the saplings. I'm going to have a storage room for leaves. Over here I've got miscellaneous, so we're going to have everything from the moss farm, so moss blocks and moss carpets. Then apples from the oak trees, and then sticks from every other tree. And then obviously the main feature is going to be all of the logs. So we're going to have one chest for the logs themselves. We're going to have one chest for all the four-sided logs, or well, six-sided logs. You know what I mean, so the bark on all the sides. And then a miscellaneous chest. So the idea is everything is going to be filtered. Everything is going to be filtered. Every button, every fence gate, everything is going to be filtered in an area down below. So I'm going to have to dig further down. And all of that should end up in the correct chest. So it's going to be a massive, massive project. But why go through all this effort of making all of this if we're not going to do it properly? So yeah, that's going to be the plan for one of the next episodes. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know how long it's going to take before this thing is operational. But you know how we do in this world. We take our time and we make sure that it's correct. Here we go. My poor piglin setup. Drop some gold in there. Yeah, I've started gathering some materials to do the Pigling Barter Tower. It's gonna be another one of those temporary. I'm not bothering with this stuff, by the way. It's gonna be another like temporary setup. I'm mainly after quartz and blackstone at the moment. No reason not to collect the rest of it anyway. But yeah, that's gonna just speed things up tremendously. So I'm already starting to gather materials, and I might just hop on that episode straight away because next week me and my girlfriend are going to download. It will be my first download ever. For those of you who don't know, Download is a metal festival in the UK. It's going to be a good one, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But I do want this stream of episodes to continue for you guys. I'm getting some subscribers now. I'm well over the moon with that. I'm well happy with that. So I just want to provide some nice and good content for you guys to watch. So I might just hop on that episode straight away so that you guys won't be missing out on content. But yeah, this has been it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it. And I hope to see you in the next one. See ya. Queuing up to die. All for an egg. See you later, mate. Let me help you. There you go. Bye.